Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is our basic MMA stance. So in MMA, there's lots of different stances you can take. Fighters have all kinds of different styles. You got, karate styles where they're going to stand side on. Wrestlers, grapplers, everybody's got a different style. But the fundamental stance doesn't really change, okay? So let's start off, we're going to do everything from a right-handed stance, yeah? So I'm right-handed, so I'm putting my left foot forward. Obviously, if you're southpaw, if you're left-handed, you're just going to reverse the instructions, but I will show both. So the way I like to get people into their stance is you want it to be really natural. So I'm just going to take 3 steps forward. I'm going to go with my left foot first. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And where my foot naturally lands, that's going to be like the base of my stance. So again, if I stand back here, I take 3 natural steps, and that's sort of where the building blocks of my stance need to be. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my knees a little bit, just so I've got like a little bit of a spring in those knees. I don't want to be stood up straight like this if I'm taking kicks, or it's a lot harder to move when your legs are straight. So I need to make sure those knees are bent. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my back heel off the floor. So I don't want my foot flat. I want my heel raised. So knees are bent and I'm sat with my hips a little bit. Again, I'm not straight up like this. I want to be sat in a good strong position where I can explode forward. Think about a sprinter. When a sprinter's in the blocks, he's like this. See how that back heel's raised, ready to explode out. Now, we're not doing a running race. We're trying to punch people in the face. But I need to be able to move forward really fast. So I want to be in this loaded position with my heel raised and my feet are pointing forward. And this is the thing that differs between different martial arts. So like karate style is a lot of side on. My feet are pointing to the side. The problem with this for MMA is you're going to take a lot of leg kicks. And it's very hard to move forward and back, shoot takedowns and defend takedowns. But if my feet are pointing forward, now I can move forward fast. I can easily change levels and shoot. So I need those feet pointing forward. Boxing is another example. They tend to have the lead foot turned in a little bit. But again, you're going to be taking a lot of leg kicks. Okay, so pointing that foot at your opponent. So again, getting into my stance, I'll just take 3 natural steps forward. That foot is pointing forwards, knees are bent, back heel's raised. Now, my upper body needs to be slightly turned to the side. So my upper body's on like a 45 to that corner. I don't want to be too side on like this, and I don't want to be too square on like this. So my shoulders are at a 45-degree angle. So I'm in this position, body's turned, elbows are going to protect my ribs, and my hands are up, protecting my head. Okay, so again, there's lots of different hand positions you can use. The simple way I teach is I want my fists at my cheek level, okay? So I don't want to be like this, my hands too high. I don't want to be like Tong Po in kickboxing, my elbows out. So I'm going to be getting kicked. I want elbows in nice and tight and hands up just around about that eye line, okay? I don't want to be covering my face where I can't see. So that's my basic MMA stance. Again, if you're left-handed, you'll be doing exactly the same, but you'll be going with a right lead. You'll be putting your right leg forward. So it's just the same position, and try to focus on one of those stances. So if you're unsure which is the best stance for you, try and stick with one for as long as you can. Don't keep switching stances. I see a lot of people trying to learn off both sides. That's just going to make you terrible at 2 sides. Focus on one and try and get really good on that one side. So get into that natural stance position, bending those knees, body's at a 45, elbows are in and hands are up. And we're not squeezing our fist super tight, we're just making a loose fist, so we're nice and relaxed. It's important that you can relax in this position. If you're tense, you're going to get tired super fast. So just getting in your stance and just being comfortable here, because you're going to be spending a lot of time there. So make sure you invest lots of time just getting comfortable in that stance.